We're back. But we're running, by the way. We're live, but I'm glad that we didn't catch that part.
That's what happened. Listen, box up on. That's what he said.
Why are you sick coming up? What are you talking about? Take some Robitussin and cut it out, pussy. I'm an alpha male. Oh my god. Anyway, so like we did last time, it was an hour 14. So hopefully we can get an hour 13, and it'll be a net win. Anyway, this is the post show podcast. As you can see, I hope it's the post show podcast working properly. I'm not sure. Hopefully people can hear me. I don't know if they can or not. So introduce. Well, matter of fact, people listening, can you? Is anyone here? Can they indeed hear? Okay, it works. Cass said it works. So introduce yourself first. We have Bash, aka Jim. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
We have the loser. I'm sorry. The second place winner for the Pride Championship, Junko Jordo. Say hello.
Holy smoke, loser! Hi, everybody.
And then we have coming from influenza. Yeah, and coming from influenza, Jake Allen. Say hello.
Hello.
Don't shout. You can just use your normal voice, please.
Okay. I only know one way to exist.
It's fucking dick. And then you can be like, oh, I can't do my voices. Anyway, so interesting show, fun show. Let's get on down to brass tacks. So again, I always ask the question, and I'm sure that we're gonna get the same result. Round robin or just free form?
Round robin.
Okay. So
should always be in order.
Yeah. All right. So we'll. I'm gonna hand things off first of all. Thank for the introduction. She's now pretty much that's her job. I'm like, hey, can you do this? She's like, okay. So I love the introduction. Love Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Into the actual women's match itself. The idea came from essentially we had this idea with the women's thing that like she'll basically not show up. I mean, she'll show up but like not compete, and then the match will start. I didn't think that's where we were gonna go initially, but then I was like, oh hey, where's the hype package? She's like, there isn't one. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, remember you said? I was like, oh, so we're gonna start the show that way. So even though a hype package came in later, it still worked because at the end it was like, will it happen or whatever? So either way, working the gimmick, fun match, enjoyed it, told a great story. The end was pretty cool. Never seen the actual reversal win something. So the darkest days are upon us. But K-Fizz aside, congratulations to Riot. It's been a long time coming, so can't wait to Steam King the title in like fucking 4 to 9 months. But either way, I guess we'll take it to Jim, then Junko, then Jake. Take it away.
First of all, those were two very fun people to work with in that little stretch that we were able to do what we did. So shout out to them for all the stuff, the collaboration, and the things we were able to accomplish. The match itself was a lot of fun. It was very back and forth. We tried to keep it chaotic, but chaotic neutral from a standpoint where it wasn't a shit fest, for lack of a better way of saying it. And I thought it worked out fairly well. Look, the reversal on that was a really cool ending sequence. It sucks to lose, but it was a nice way to end the match. It was very abrupt. And, look, it's been a long time coming for Riot. Riot does a lot of hard work. Our universes are starting to kind of clash for the first time in terms of like the last couple of months. So our orbits have kind of aligned and we've done some stuff together, and just great person, great, handler with all the things that Riot does. And, hopefully Riot's going to be a great champion as well. And we'll have to see where it goes from there in terms of, the ending. By the way, I didn't know that hype package was going to be done. Like we had agreed to do the hype packages for Riot, which we did, and we did the 3 hype packages on Riot. I didn't even know because of the way that this was playing out, exactly how Jay had explained. But just kudos to both Emp and for being a graceful champion and doing all the things that she did, and Rai for all of the hard work. So good job, everybody.
Junkie, you are next.
This was a good program overall. Like I was at the beginning, I wasn't really sure where it was gonna go or what like the mood of it was, because it's essentially 3 fields per se. But it was just chaotic and fun. I think that was the best part about it, especially the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been really fun. I'm curious to see what happens and how the 3 parties, what's next for them. That should be interesting. But the entertaining match. I love the whole was it Mike Law? That shit was funny. I don't know why.
Bringing Mike Law
that
back.
Yeah, that had me crying. I don't know why, but yeah, overall really good. Love the program.
Jake.
It's a great way to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. This was like kind of a triple heel situation, but they
Yeah.
all had their different devious dynamics coming into that. I'll just say on the opening package, the Clash thing, that was probably my favorite like pay-per-view intro that I've seen in a hot minute. So great job, Imp, on that. The whole feud leading up to this was more Imp kind of being on her throne and people kind of punching at it. So it at least gave Pearl and Marissa an avenue to be a little bit sympathetic. And then obviously we've been waiting for this moment for Marissa for so long. So that's kind of where it gave most of the empathy for me. And the fact that it ended the way it did, like Imp gets like ejected from the ring and then the roll up happens. You say it's the first time that it's not. I immediately always think of the Drago and Antonio Everett breakout match for the light heavyweight title back at Certified Greatness 2019. That was like the first big one where it was like a reverse roll up that made Antonio Everett into a crazy star. And Marissa's already a star, doesn't need the title. None of these three do really, but that's kind of all the more reason that all of them will be great with it. Exciting to see where the Imp sensation stuff goes from here. Marissa kind of gave me mixed feelings later on in the show, but at least in the early going, it was all sympathetic and made me feel good for her, especially in the aftermath.
Yes, indeedy. All right, we have, if I'm not mistaken, Bellacor's package. Content wise, it was neat. I'm not sure what it meant, so I'm not gonna pretend I'll do. We'll do Junko, Jake, then Jim. Wow, all the J's and JCS.
I'm assuming this is a origin story or like how he became who he is now.
Okay.
He can correct me, but that's kind of what I got from it. It seemed like he was a normal dude, and then he met an interesting individual, and that individual changed him, and he became this freak of nature that we know now.
Okay.
It was good. I know we've had a few conversations about like where he wants to go with the character and stuff like that. I think this is a good way to start it off. We're getting a bit more like understanding of who he is and why he operates. So just got to see what happens now.
Jake.
I think an origin story is a great way to do it. I'm also a super fucking dumbass nerd who likes to dive into the backstory of all my characters. So to see this from Be'lakor was cool. It was confusing at first, but then after you realize it, because I think all of us had the same idea, like when it loaded up to go, that kind of looks like Be'lakor. And then once it started playing out, you kind of see where it's going. So it gives a good background as to why he has been as kind of unapologetically vicious as he has been up to this point. So great content for a pay-per-view, especially like this when you're not booked, and looking forward to where it builds leading into 25.
Yeah, as a rookie, producing any kind of video content for a pay-per-view is a fucking like,
especially this with like the effects and stuff.
Yeah, no, I can't. Effect-wise, it was solid, and everything else is how I was just like trying to fucking figure it the fuck out. Jim, you're up.
I mean, I don't have to tell you guys that I think that Be'lakor is going to be one of those people that, in a couple of years, that will be a mainstay in OCW and, really has a good chance of being successful here. Because I wouldn't be involved in if I didn't think he was, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So he's really made a name for himself, and he really works hard and brings ideas to the table and all that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that he did something. And this just gives me a little bit more in terms of who Be'lakor is, and even in terms of what we're doing as DNS and all that stuff, that just can add layers to it. So good stuff, and he's on there, and I liked it.
I like how you said, in a couple of years, brother. What do you mean a couple of years? How come I'm a championship title man now? Because you gotta work.
Well,
time is so frivolous. When he says in a couple of years, I feel the same way he does. It could be in 5-6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We look at the John Carter, and we'll talk about it later, but you look at some of the matches that have happened here and be like, that's been going on for 3 years. No, it's been only like 12, 14 months, but it seems that way based on the effort that's been put in. And this goes a long way to help that.
Yes, indeed. Hi, Diva. What we got next? Next, it's the hype packages for Devin and Cino.
Yes.
Okay. So, well, I was worried about Jay-Z for a second. I think everything came out okay, so that's fantastic. These two were kind of made to fight each other, I guess. Match itself, enjoyed it. The only complaint I got is it felt a little like I don't know, whatever word I want to use. Someone will figure it out. But yeah, but at times, but for the most part, I think it was basically two dudes that wanted to win. The new C Note music is amazing. The new fit is amazing. Solid match. It didn't overstay its welcome. That shit was like for example, in the later match, we were like, "Hey, the finisher!" This match, these motherfuckers was not playing around at all.
Mhm.
One hit a quitter. Good match. I don't think anybody's hurt by this. This is a solid outing, but it does give at least one person, in this case, I would say Benjamin, a little bit of momentum boosting capability. So excited to see what happens. Both people are solid producers of solid content. I called Devin the blue chipper, but honestly, C Note's like up there, right there as well, like on the precipice. Former champion to begin with, but still, a lot of tread on those tires to go. So very excited to see what happens with that. So we'll do Jim, then Jake, then Junko.
So first of all, the hype package, I think it felt the vibe of both of the characters, because these are both guys I wouldn't consider to be. Yeah, I consider them both to be heels. So
Yes.
I think it kind of was a good way of displaying the attitude of both of them. And like I said it on commentary, this is a game of one-up disrespect between the two of them, right? And that's what it ended up being. It definitely didn't overstay its welcome in terms of the way that these guys go. They go quick. Their stuff is quick, so the matches are going to be quicker in that respect. And overall, I like the match. I think it's a good start for Devin in terms of his singles run and where he wants to go and who he wants to be. And for C Note, it's about continuing to try and build himself back up from his losing the North American Championship, losing to B17, stuff like that, and getting himself where he wants to go. So overall, I think it accomplished a goal for both.
Yeah, the hype package, one of the main things is that it's aesthetically fitting to the characters and the story that's involved. This did a phenomenal job of that. Another thing that this and the whole show did really is making sure to include enough of the story on the lead up to it to give people, even casual viewers, kind of a window in to why they are fighting. I think between these two, Devin is the clear heel of them. I think C-Note has the arrogance levels to him that he could be a heel, but against Devin Flash, especially in the wake of the snitching fiasco, this is all C-Note the whole way. This was just a knuckle down, strong, straight up comp match, and I respect it for what it was. Nobody tried to arbitrarily increase length or do anything stupid, and they didn't break FPR, no ethics issues, just a great pay-per-view match that they earned with the build up to it. And I don't think, like you said earlier, Jay, that there's any losers here. Both of them are going to walk into 2025 with a hell of a lot of momentum.
Junkie.
Let's be very clear. If you're a snitch, you're a heel. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. So yes,
100%.
C-Note is the face in the situation. C-Note's kind of a made man. I don't think C-Note can do any wrong right now at this stage of his career. This is the really good first chapter in the book of Devin Flash, the singles competitor. It should be interesting to see what he does now, but I think this was a good one, a good way to start it off. Probably would have liked to see arrive on in some way, shape, or form. Didn't have to show up, or at least talk about it a little bit more, or at least whether he showed up or whether he jumped in or whatever the case may be. That's really the only thing I would have liked to see. But overall, yeah, the match was all gas, no breaks. It was entertaining. Can't complain.
All gas,
Good shit,
no
boys.
break. All gas, no breaks. Yes, indeed. Let me see if I can get the finish on the little video card real quick. Video thing. We get it? No. There we go. Never mind. Wait. Not fuck it. I'm not trying. Anyway, next up we got. Let's see what's going to show up on the video
It's
screen.
Steven Jackson.
It's Steven Jackson. My only complaint on old Steven is microphone, but that happens in time. It's not a big deal. I like it. I like the character. Character's like, the fuck am I doing here? I got to get my life together. I don't know about taking that leap from an ambulance. Got to worry about your ankles and your knees. Other than that, I got nothing to say. Other than it's a good. If this was an actual rookie, I'd be like, thank God they're doing whatever. But it's still it's extra sauce on the steak. Well, good sauce, not the shitty sauce. But I enjoyed it. I always like Steven Jackson. It's very reminiscent of an entertaining character from like the old country. So I'm here. To me, he's actually just. He reminds me of, and I made the joke with somebody else, and I don't remember who it was on commentary, but Steven Jackson literally is kind of melanated Parker Stevens, early Parker Stevens, when he was just like the fucking everyman, just being himself and shit. So yeah, good comparison at the time, at least. So we'll do Jake, Junkie, Jim.
Yeah, I'm not going to insult the guy by making that comparison.
I knew
But
it.
one comparison I will make is that I've said this from the beginning because I talked to him in other non-OCW avenues. He is Black Ice. That's what I've called him because both him and Iceman came in with an idea of like a big over-the-top, spooky, demonic, dominant character, and it kind of was received with mixed results. And then they were like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to be myself. And those are the ones that are popping off and getting the biggest reactions, at least to this point. I still think Jinx has a lot of momentum. I still think there was a lot of room for Leo Grimm at the time, but the comparison is right there for me. Steven Jackson is genuinely himself. I initially was like, oh no, why is Steven Jackson being like doubting himself? That didn't seem like a thing that would apply to him. But the way he was able to bounce right back, throwing shit around, being the hardcore icon that he is, he could lose. I've said this before. He could lose every single match on the lead up to his career feuds, and it wouldn't hurt him too much. That's how impactful of a personality he is. So yeah, I'm glad it was on the show. Anytime you can add an extra layer of personality and character when you are not booked on the actual show, this is a great opportunity to do it.
I just love that he's talking shit. That's the key factor I love with him. When those catchphrases. Next up.
Yeah, just good baby face behavior. I think that's the big thing that I get with Stevie is that like you want to cheer for him. He's very sympathetic. The fact that he's a working man, the fact that he's very humble. He comes out and granted, yes, he does talk a lot of shit, but even when he loses, it's still a situation where you want to cheer for him. I think that's the good dynamic that he's got going for him. So regardless of whatever it is that he does, I think you're gonna garner sympathy from the fans, and they're gonna want to cheer and see you root well. So I think the handlers got that down.
Because that
So it should be
motherfucker's
interesting.
scrappy.
Yeah, that too as well, right?
Yes, Jimmy.
So it was a good promo. I know that Jinx, in terms of person, Steven Jackson, the character, he really cares about that stuff and, trying to represent well. And he's going with the flow. And I like Steven, the character, a lot. I think that eventually he will get Steven into a position where he's able to be a little bit more successful with him. I think that he played this promo quite well. And I'm looking forward to see what Steven can get his hands on as far as like a feud and going from there.
Feuds are the lifeblood of OCW, baby.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you're an alter, main character, or whatever. You got a feud.
You need like a big bad or a medium bad. We got the John Carter, Sheldon Tremblay video. We'll do Jake, then Jim, then Junko in order of thing because Jake knows more than Jim knows almost as much, and then Junkie is learning. So go ahead.
John and Sheldon was my number one most anticipated non-championship match on this show, and it delivered in the ring in all the ways I knew it would. I love the aesthetic from both of them. It really tells a story about their lead up to this match without actually saying it. The hype package said it a lot. So much history. They talked about all, I'm such a sucker. If you make a hype package and you're including clips from 2018, 2019, 2020, or just any of your history, I'm a big sucker for that because it always brings people back to where they were in that moment. I'm thinking back to the Super S Cup when you guys fought. I'm thinking back to the battles between the Wrestling Club and Sanctum. And it's just a great way to build a story in a hype package. And this was all built by El Parca. Sheldon is kind of breaking away. And it told a great story of why Sheldon is operating the way that he is and why John is operating the way that he is. Much like the Devin and C-Note match, I think inside the ring, it was so good that it doesn't hurt either one of them. It's like if you play any of those tech sim wrestling games and you have a match that's so good that both parties benefit, I think this was one of them. I think all of the non-title matches tonight had a bit of that, and we'll get to the one that I think lacked on it a little bit here in a second. But this was a great match, and Sheldon kind of keeps going down this path he was. I didn't ever think this was going to be the finality to his character turn anyway. And John Carter continues to move up the ranks and solidify his role as a do-gooder. I don't know what universe that we found ourselves in where he is a do-gooder, but here we are.
John Carter, Jim.
The music choice on the hype package itself was pretty classic. They used a song that I thought fit very well. And as far as the match concerned, it went back and forth early on. It looked like John kind of got his feet underneath him, and eventually he took advantage of that. As far as the characters are concerned, I'm starting to buy John Carter more and more as a babyface, and I personally had reservations in that respect in the beginning. So I think he's done a good job of kind of quelling those doubts, in that respect. And the Sheldon heel turn is an interesting situation for me because I think that Sheldon's in the middle of his like crash out, and this is just going to continue the spiral, right? And it's going to be a really good story over a couple month period. I really believe that there will be you got to hit rock bottom and then kind of spring your way back up. So I'm waiting for that arc as well.
Junkie.
This is interesting. I hope it's not done. I think there's more layers that we can kind of peel back when it comes to both of them and their retrospective directions and which way they're going. Like I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 months, I was wrong. I thought John wasn't able to be a face, but he shut me up the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks.
Mm.
He's on a rocket. He's on a rocket ship right now, and it's out of here. Again, I think he's ready for prime time. That's just my personal opinion. I do want to see what Sheldon has in store for the future and where it goes and how it goes, and I'm kind of confused in terms of like character wise, but again, I'll give it time. I won't be too judgmental as of right now. Um, it should be interesting to see how far each character goes and how it comes back and connects. I don't know which feud I'm enjoying more between John, this one or Jordan Trans. I'll find out in a few weeks. But really good stuff. I enjoyed it. Again, the match is amazing. These are two of the best on the sticks that I've seen. So can't complain. Good shit.
Match was, as the kids, well, I know as I would say, Metal Gear Solid. Next up, we have a commercial. Then we have, oh yes, we have the Dragana Caesar Junkie match. So Junkie will go last to discuss. The intro for this I enjoyed beyond greatly, as you're gonna see on the screen right now. If you're just tuning in, we're basically recapping our pay per view a couple hours ago. We're showing footage while we discuss it, or trying to show as much footage as we can while discussing it. But yeah, the take back to like the old '90s fighting games, as something Drago's known to do as a '90s fanatic, took me back. This feud is also pretty cool. I've enjoyed it from top to bottom. Junko basically, as I said, punching upward and trying to be the Super Rukyu, and this whole beef for Dragana, and then bringing in Akita as the Godfather, which is a huge lore dump out of nowhere. It's a family affair, I suppose, and then the whole juxtaposition of fucking, Junko's an asshole and Junko's violent and whatever because Junko wants to succeed by going after big game, but at the same time Junko's like, ain't my family had no love for me. That shit is painful, son. It's like some young AJ Lee type shit. Happiest day when Junko eventually wins the title, and like they just show her by herself in the locker room because there's no family, no friends. That's how you become a face hoot. But yeah, no, match itself, fucking Dragana's Dragana, and I think at one point Junko had it, and then Junko made the mistake that Harvey made and taunted Dragana.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do it. You can have a really solid match with the Caesar as long as you don't get stupid. If you get stupid, they're going to murder you. So then that happened. The finish was fucking. I used Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome, but it's really more fucking like Kawada versus Kobashi or whatever the fuck. That finish was like, I just fucking chef's kiss on that shit, son. Fun match. One of my that's one of my favorite matches of the night. I have more, but that's one of my favorite. So we'll take it to Jim, Jake, and then Junkie.
So I really enjoyed the hype package. The retro stuff is, a melon special, and it just, to me, always hits home for me. As far as the match is concerned, I like Junko's entrance. I wanted to point that out with like the sumo stuff and the history there. That was really awesome. The gear was nice from both of them. I felt it. They looked very different, and the disrespect on Junko's gear. The match was really fun. In terms of what I expected it to be. At the end, though, okay, here's my issue. As Junko is a heel, I don't like the hug. Don't like it. Because to me, that like Junko has spent all this time being this super rookie heel monster, and like that's just the moment you don't need. That would be like me shaking B17's hand at the end of him kicking my ass.
Can
like
I
I'm
break
not doing
out real
that.
quick, Jim?
Yes, you can.
To that, I offer the fact that one of the themes that Dragana have is also like, love conquers all, universal
Oh, for sure.
acceptance and stuff. So like eventually to see, like, because remember, like, even though like it's not so much as accepting a hug as so much respecting Dragana and understanding where Dragana is actually coming from. I don't think Junko changes fundamentally, because remember, she still told the kid to get fucked. So
no, see, but that's the thing for me. Like, I feel like you do one or the other. Like, you know what I mean? In terms of like, you either do the hug and then like, okay, leave the questions there. But like, I don't, you know what I mean? And I understand what they were trying to do there. But for me as a heel character, I want to try and keep my heel, like, unless Junko is going to be switching alignments or something of that nature. And you know what I mean? So that's really what I was trying to get to. I really enjoyed the match itself and the whole thing, and I just personally wouldn't have done the hug, but I understand the Dragoniverse and the part of it, right? Just heel monster stuff. I want to keep it that way. So good stuff though.
Jake.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. Not going to break out, but the whole just to start, the entrance and the presentation of everybody. I usually say it at the beginning of all of these that usually I would spend time on these post-show pods talking about who understood the assignment, who did it, who didn't. But there's not really any room for that anymore because everybody just knocks it out of the park every single time. It's basically assumed if you're showing up on the pay-per-view, you better come prepared, and everybody did now. I loved the red Junko gear. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The entrance was good. And I think from the very beginning, Jim, this is kind of a counter to what you were saying. Junko has always been somebody who has had understood inspirations for her decision making, albeit she goes to the extremes. And those are what I think make the best heels that we have. Junko has always made it a point that her history and her family did not accept her as much as maybe she thought they should have, and that her history as a sumo should have been respected more and all of this. And she came to pro wrestling, and even then it wasn't accepted as much. And like, obviously going to the extreme she has to be the shitbag monster heel that she has is not acceptable, but her inspiration for doing that always has been. So I think after the first match they had, Junko did exactly what you and I both agree should have happened. Junko's like, nah, I ain't playing this bullshit. You rolled me up. I'm going to beat your ass. And she did that. And that's what led to the second match. After the second match, after that kidnapping of Clickbait, after really diagnosing everything that fight with love, what does that mean? She was in the crowd for several matches. So she has really been paying close attention to what this means for Dragana and kept pushing back against it, kept pushing away from it. And then at some point, you push back against it, you lose in a very clean, convincing fashion. It is time to accept, respect, and that I think plays perfectly to Junko's character, where she immediately turns around and goes, I respect this person because they earned it, but you, my family, everybody else who doubts me, you're still a piece of shit. I don't think this undermines her ability as a heel at all if she decides to go that way. I think it's very honest to her motivations, the reason she was being a heel up to this entire point. If it happened at the very beginning, like the first match, I would agree with you. But I think being that this is the second match and Junko has shown her commitment to understanding where Dragana is coming from and commitment to respect as a general concept, that's why I was pretty cool with it. This was a tremendous program. Couldn't have been a better job for Junko and Dragana, and the sky's the limit.
So I don't know before Junko. I don't know if it's the liquor, which is I have a very small bit of whiskey, but I got a little misty-eyed fucking inspiration. Not inspiration, but like thought. So with Junko now earning like Dragana's, like, now Junkie respects Dragana, but Junkie's still gonna be like, a shitbag, whatever. Like, what if we're years down the line? I don't know, whatever time lapse you want to do. And maybe Dragana's still around, and like Dragana gets jumped, and it's like, oh man, no one's helping, and then fucking out of nowhere, Junko runs out of all people. Fucking Jake's on comms, me and you are screaming like fucking girls at a fucking Ariana Grande concert. Just wanted to pass that through. That's the kind of like lore we need, brother. That deep historical building. Anyway, my little fucking imagination has run wild. You may speak now, Junkie. It's your match.
I'll address that last part after. Overall, this was thoroughly enjoyable from beginning to end. This is kind of like, again, what I'm here for. This is like these programs and the aesthetics and the storytelling and just overall the reactions, the crowd reactions. This is what I signed up for OCW for. So kudos to Melon. I tried. My biggest thing, like during the match, was just not to get Holly 100 or Bertha.
Not
Like
trying to get what?
I didn't want. I tried not to get Holly 100 or Bertha,
Yeah.
like at all. Just not. Yeah, that was my biggest thing. I was like, you know what? Let me start off and try to get hyper aggressive in the beginning, whatever. Danny's always like, yeah, I need just like ruthless aggression from you. So that was the goal. But then I taunted. I'm like, oh fuck. There we go.
You by mistake. I'm sure you like, oh shit. Melo's like,
When-
what you doing, B?
Not cool, Bubba.
Cool,
But yeah, not cool. But yeah, it was good. It was good, man. Honestly, I cannot blame. This is like the perfect first feud for Junko, like in terms of like her story. Again, I'm here. The things that I love the most are like the aesthetics and really getting to express myself with like the hype packages, the cool entrances, the attires and things of that nature. That's what I generally love. So I'm happy overall with it. I did not know he was going to do that for the hype. I thought we were going to do like a just like a part 2 of our from the 20th anniversary with the whole like Yakuza thing.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to do that again. So when he showed me like the OCW insignia. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what is this? And then when he showed me, I literally was screaming on my bed. I was like, oh my god, this I don't think there's going to be a better hype package than this. But yeah, sorry, go on.
No, continue. I'm sorry.
When it comes to her character, if you paid attention during the entire time, she always respected her. Junko always respected Dragana, right? Even when she talked to her brother for a second, she always respected him. That's just a Japanese thing. If you're older and you have some sort of prestige, regardless of the alignment, that's just how Japanese are. You're gonna get respect and things of that nature. Unless it's a situation where I don't respect you, then you gotta earn it. Right? So it's kind of a mixture of both. I do agree, like in terms of the alignment stuff. I just want to show that Junko has a bit more layers than that per se. Whether that's hard right, hard left, or it's in the middle, regardless. But I think Jake kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Emasculated, is that the word? Essentially, encapsulated. Yeah, shut up. That's essentially exactly how I wanted to figure it in terms of like, yeah, you kind of have to earn a respect. The family stuff, we'll see, to be continued. But overall, I'm happy with the product. So I don't think this will automatically go as one of my top 3 feuds. No matter, I could be here for 20 years. I don't think there's going to be one that's going to be able to, or 3 feuds that are going to top this one. This one holds a dear place in my heart.
So before we can move on to the next match, the last bit I want to make is regarding Drago, like the incremental improvement on storytelling. I'm not sure how long these things take or if the process has been streamlined, but little by little, Drago has been incredibly quietly consistent, whether it was back in the P3 era, where it's basically like 3-4 years nonstop of a fucking every week something, regardless if people read it or not, some shenanigans, some storytelling, or whether it's the new stuff now that's happening with the stills and the video and the in-game stuff. But it's nice to see, and I just gotta give I guess credence to it. Fucking, it's always a delightful treat. And on top of that, Drago always provides like fucking 4 screenshots to use. So all I gotta do is pick one and put it in. It takes me less than a fucking second to do a thumbnail. So I appreciate that as well. Highly saves me a shitload of time. So yeah, just shout out to that. It's always a fucking good time. It's always entertaining, and it always has that 90s or 80s whatever to it that always fucking pops me because I'm a nostalgia nerd. Because I'm old and sad. Moving on. Fucking melon flowers for the killer, Bubba. Can't wait for next year with the fucking Kumite. Chigata and Draco team up for Kumite against 2 assholes.
Dojo
the JoJo. We got the
Apocalypse.
We got the Apocalypse match. Hype package, really well done. Jim is also did Jim make this? Yeah, I think, right?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so yeah, the improvements are happening. It's funny because if you see like Jake and them from before or Riot from before, like you see people improve little by little, unless they're Horse, but then Horse even improved in like the 5th year. But yeah, it's nice to see just people get better and better and better and better and better and better. And then it's like, what the fuck? Do you have like a degree in design all of a sudden? I guess so. You're welcome, OCW. Thank you, OCW. But yeah, no, the video package was fantabulous. I loved it. Loved the musical choices. If I only had a one thing to add on a producer note, I would probably lower the opacity of the overlay because it's a little jarring to trying to see. But other than that, fine. The Apocalypse match itself, okay. Haven't had one in like almost 20 years, and now we know why. Obvious some issues, some hiccups. All I would say to that would be, if we do these again, we'll revise the rules a smidge to, instead of being red orange, maybe red yellow, some shit like that, or something. That's the first thing. The second thing is that first match went was it the first? Yeah, no, it was just. I'm almost, my brain is not functioning, but like, was the first match didn't really drag. The second match did definitely drag.
That's
and then
up to you.
Then the third match, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't catch it, because what happened is when me and Jim recorded, he was off by like a couple seconds, so it was throwing me off badly. So I was just trying to focus on trying to keep that going in my head. I didn't really notice the just not going for the kill. I can understand a little bit, but at some point, like, you can't have people just say, "Hey, your finisher." So, I mean, no, it's weird because people say hit your finisher, but then you go to the next match and it's like, oh, that person's saying hit your finisher, and then they're not doing it either. It's like, what the fuck?
Not the same. That's not the
Well,
same.
it takes a little bit longer.
Don't
I get
make
it.
comparisons.
Yeah.
That's the dumb thing.
Yeah, I know. Don't attack me. Leave me alone. I know you're sick, but I'll attack you. I'll stab you.
Please do.
End it all, right? Fuckface. So yeah, but that's really my only complaint. I wish if we had that tied down, it probably wouldn't be as long as it was, because the runtime was 34 minutes. It felt every much like 34 minutes, so I'll just leave it at that. Not a bad match, but could have been far, far better with, like, I think this would probably be the weakest match of the night on that. And that's not an indictment on anybody. It's just like, it's more of the rule set may have caused the issue. So that's my take on it. So I'll give it to Jake, Junkie, then Jim, because he was in the match.
Yeah, no, the rule set was totally fine. It is like something that you need to work around. I'll tell you right now, looking at a 34-minute runtime, I didn't think.
Oh, when I
the
sent you the thing, you made it.
No, like I did, yeah, because you accidentally sent me your audio clip, so I knew it was long, but I knew it was going to be long anyway. It didn't matter. And watching it, I don't think the length was the problem at all. Like, I knew it was going to be long. I'm glad that it went the way that it did. The first part of the match was very good. Bash beat the shit out of him for the first like 7 minutes of it, and then he made a comeback the same way you always would. But I think that first fall was the problem and the solution. Like, it was a great first section, and then once we get past that, it felt to me that they tried to arbitrarily make every fall like that first fall. Like, that first fall did all of the heavy lifting for you, but by the second fall, both characters should be exhausted. They should be ready to like continue to beat on each other, and they did. Like, they used a lot of weapons and everything, but there was a section in the second fall where Samson's got full finishers and full signature, and he just won't go for it. He just won't do it at all. He just won't try it. And the fun part of these organic back and forths is when you try it and they reverse it, and then you reverse it back. And like, you're always are balancing the resources that way. So it's like that back and forth is very exciting. And I think picking up the pace after that first, as it should have been, slow fall would have made for a better match, but they didn't do that. They Samson specifically tried to maybe artificially inflate it. And I'm going to pull back from my own behavior, because I think we were a little unfair being as aggressive as we were. I was just hyped up for the show and excited, whatever. So I was yelling a lot. But I can understand going into the second fall of a match like this, you're like, okay, this is a new match. Like, let's try and get something out of it. You don't want to immediately go in for something. So I understand why it happened. But at the end of the day, if you got 3 finishers and a sig and your opponent has nothing and he's finishable, you have to try. And then it frustrated once we get to the cage portion, because then Bash is stunned and all of us are cheering for Samson. He is the bona fide, clear-cut, easy money babyface in this. And I understand the idea of, I want to beat up this guy who has tortured my life. But at the end of the day, once you're in the third fall of a 35-minute match, you should probably be trying to really embarrass him by hitting your finisher. So when you hit it, you get him stunned and you just dick around and taunt in his face the whole time. It gives us that Rex Pugh feeling, whether that's true or not. It gives us that, oh, they're just trying to artificially inflate this. And that doesn't have to be true, but it's the feeling that people got. So I'm going to pull back on my own. I don't think it was nearly as bad as like maybe the initial reaction made it seem. And Samson's dumbass reaction, like, fine, I'll just hit a fin on every stun going forward. Like,
that reminds me of vintage Parker in like 2019.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that,
want.
but I understand why he felt that way, because it was a lot of negativity pushed back on him. So I'll pull back a little bit. Shouldn't have been that long. Shouldn't have been that much. But like, yeah, if you got a chance to finish the match, especially late, second, third fall, you got to go for it. We want to see the babyface win. We want to see you give Bash his comeuppance, and you never did that. And quite frankly, that is why you lost the match, and you kind of deserved it. So both, I think, are going to benefit from this. I'm looking forward to seeing where Samson goes away from DNS, hopefully, like get away. And Bash is obviously going to live on his own monolith.
So because of Bash, I have another thing to add, and I'll bring it to Jungle. So what would have been fucking sick if when they got to the second match and he had he had a finisher, he just would have, as soon as the match started and as soon as the color changed, hit him with a finisher and pin him like super quick, real fast. That would have fucking popped everybody huge.
It would have worked.
Yeah, that would have everybody would have lost their fucking mind. Especially if it just cracked him with something, like hit him with a chair and then hit him with a desecrator on top of it. 1, 2, 3, call it. And we get the cage match. But yeah, and then the finish on it. I felt bad for that because I don't know how it works, but he's just, and I'm like, he can't grab him because he's fat and greasy. I don't know what's happening, but this is weird. But
I was okay with it by that point.
Yeah,
I was happy with it.
You're like, yeah, we're good. Because
you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it. Yeah. You didn't finish the job.
Speaking of Bash, we didn't mention the Bash part in the women's match, with Coco and Marissa and stuff. Marissa, damsel in distress, and then fucking Coco runs out. Didn't they have a I swear to God, am I misremembering that
they've been going back
on
and forth.
The recent show that just happened? Wasn't there some other shit too where Coco
with alcohol? Yeah.
Both of them. The lawyer came out and they have been shitting on each other constantly back and forth. This is how Rye can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I read it from the jump, that they are an impossibly problematic couple. And like you see these in real life or like in public, they are just the most toxic nonsense couple, and everybody wants them to separate, but like they have this weird kind of connection to each other and they always want to stand up for each other. It's toxicity manifest in the worst way.
Bro,
and I think that's what they were going for.
She snitched him to the sponsor when the sponsor came out.
But think of it from his standpoint. She saved him from his own vices, and she gave him a new lease on life. So he has this weird loyalty to that, where he shouldn't, and we all cheer against it. But it is a real thing.
Here's why I agree with Jay. Remember, didn't she feed him alcohol?
Yes.
Last week she admitted to doing that, and so like some way to punish it.
And
but her. Yeah, but him coming out and
nothing.
seeing this, but he is a victim in this. He is the one that's being abused, and he is holding a loyalty to her that she doesn't deserve. But I understand the loyalty. That makes sense.
He is a VH1 victim. He is a VH1 like straight up victim. Not only did he get snitched on, but she spiked his drink. That's John Carter nasty work.
2025.
Yeah, and then. That's what good people do. That's what good does to people.
Right. Don't quote her. Don't quote her. Let's come on.
I can't. Like I'm saying, and then the kicker on the cuckery is fucking Bash with his. You have to choose, and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm picking her."
But honestly, Jay, who would you choose?
Huh? Oh,
if you're in Mad Dog's situation there, what is your choice? Because I think I pick Marissa and figure it out later.
Bro, you're crazy. Bros before the whoas.
No. See, yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
No, it's not.
I'm not going to get into right now.
Mad Dog is the only dude in the history of whatever to do. Well, he's not the only one, but he's the one in OCW. So I digress. I just wanted to get that out there. So I don't want no sympathy for Marissa. And anybody bitching about fuck you. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to fuck you. What the fuck am I supposed to do? That's how it works, bro. That's how you build stars. Because now it's like, oh, what's gonna happen, Marissa Sensation? Yeah, exactly. You fucking hump. I'm sorry, Junko. You're next.
Stipulation matches are always very, very controversial. I kind of agree. I think when after each match happened, it seemed like both competitors just like reset and treated it like it was a brand new match. I think if it would have flowed a little bit better if say, okay, Sammy gets pinned first match, and then second match he just comes out balls to wall, right? I think it would have translated a little bit better. I don't think So that's just a Sammy thing. Sammy holds on to his finisher. That's just how he is, and then he unloads. That's just what he does. So it didn't really bother me too much per se. It's just how he fights. But yeah, I think overall, I think that's the only thing that was kind of a bit weird was like each match happened and then it was just like a reset. I'm just like, oh well, I mean, well we're already at 80 miles per hour. Why are we starting back from zero now? Like, I don't know. That's the only thing that was a little bit weird. Yeah, a weird thing for me.
Well, you mean the damage rollback or
no, not even like
no, just the
mindset,
how they were
the
playing.
pacing,
yeah,
the
like how they
mindset
were
and the
playing,
pacing,
right?
yeah,
exactly, right. So like if you watch it, every single match started, they both started up and they squared off like the match started, right? When it should have been like, oh shoot, one is over, second one, I should have went gas, all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? So that's really the only thing that I would say that I would critique per se. The ending is hard. Look, that's unfortunate. Just walking out and you can't do nothing about it. Stupid Greg. But yeah, again, I'm not gonna jump on him too much about the finishing stuff. Like, yeah, sure. I think there are times where he should have pulled it for sure. I get trying to tell a story and all that stuff, but I mean, you could have fucked him up, and that could have been the story. But
I think what you said plays exactly into it, right? Like the fact that they were pacing it as if it was a brand new match every fall.
Exactly.
Those are the same complaints. Like we were yelling that they weren't going for a fin, but if he would have had the mindset of this is the same match, it's just a different fall, then that never would have been a problem to begin with. So I think you said it a lot better than we did.
Yeah.
Jim, your time to shine.
Okay. So to kind of pull the curtain back on this, if you looked at our bars, there was clear discrepancies in terms of when we started, who had what finisher signature wise. Okay, so let's start there. So the problem was we tried to go for a little bit just to kind of like build those bars up, not too long. It wasn't even something that like we wrestled. We didn't really talk too much about how that was going to go. You know what I mean? It was basically we're going to do 3 matches. They're going to go together. We need to get the damage to here. So we did that whole entire thing. And yeah, it was long. Honestly, when it ran 35 minutes, when I first edited it, I thought, okay, this didn't run as long as I actually thought it was going to. So, you know, the first one I think was longer. I think I asked Nate about that. I don't think it ran longer than that. But the point here was that I understand the complaints with the match. The ending, I did not know the cage mechanics. So to be honest with you, I just kind of walked over there after I hit the PHP, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna walk out of the cage." And then like he was trying to reach, and I was even getting like prompts for like reverses, but there was nothing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
amazing.
So I was like, okay, and then I just like right out, and I was like, all right, I win, and then that was that. So I don't know. I didn't want to make the cage last too long because I had already had in my mind that the Extreme Rules match went too long. So if you notice, I was hyper aggressive in the cage match. Anytime I had a finisher or a signature, I tried to use it immediately for that reason. And just to kind of get it going. You know, look, we all try things. You know, I don't know that I will ever do another Apocalypse match. It took like 2 hours to record this thing with like going back and forth trying to do damage and shit and not like throwing health down and all that stuff. But like, you know, and I appreciate Samson for taking the time to do it. And, you know, look, it's a comp match. I won the comp match. And in reality, I kind of wanted to lose. But, you know, you play the game and you win. And we told the story we told. Just from the standpoint of, you know, I did want his character to get that. But, you know, look, I think Samson, you know, is a good guy. And he'll learn that part of the presentation of OCW is having a killer instinct, right? And I think he tries so hard to put on a good match, and he does sometimes, like, and that, but he needs to have that comp side to him and the killer instinct, right? Like his movesets and stuff, he's improved that stuff. Like I like his stuff with all the majors he's got in there. He's a fair guy in that respect. You know what I mean? He just gotta try and hone in the killer instinct, and I think it'll be better for him in that respect. You know, but that's really it. The Apocalypse match was a gamble. You know, it appears the gamble isn't paid off, but you know, you live and learn.
Well said. I mean, at the end of the day, stun, no stun, just go for it. See what the fuck happens. That's it.
No, I understand the argument of being a stun chaser, right? Okay, but if you beat the crap out of someone and then you use your finisher, it's fine. What the situations that you don't want to be doing is like hitting your signature and then being like, oh, the stun bar's almost full. Let me throw 2 ground moves in real quick and then I'm gonna go for my finisher. You know what I mean? That's
Exactly.
lame-o behavior in my opinion. But you got to understand that stuff, you know, and that's
And
what
I think both of you
get out of
do. And I think we all know that both of you do. I think that was part of the frustration, if I have to say, is that we all know that both of you do. We just want to watch Samson and Bash be Samson and Bash. We don't want to watch Samson and Bash be what they think they should be. You know what I mean? And it was really just the second and third fall, and it did not hurt the match for me. Like this is still going to be a fun thing. Like, look, I just watched that spot where he missed the fucking chair and got hit with the trash
He
can.
just sidestepped.
That's why I'm pulling back on it a little bit, because the match did not deserve this kind of like vitriol. It was still fine. It would have been better if it was handled a little bit differently.
Yeah, it's not. Look, at the end of the day, it's not Pew Rex 1. It's not. So
no.
Still
there's been
matches.
infinitely worse matches even this season.
Yeah, and some have even fucking gone just swept under the fucking rug. So I digress. We have more for you. We have commercial.
Jinx.
The Jinx promo. Loved everything about it. Loved the new look. I wish he kind of diverted away from the green a little bit since he's not DNS anymore. That's one comment. The other comment would be, I don't hate the voice, but it needs a little fixing somewhere to sound less whatever the fuck is where I'm looking for. I can't find the word to look for it at the moment, but
doesn't sound real.
Yeah, there you go. That's really my only comments. Everything else on it was fine. So if that gets fixed, fucking gravy old Navy. That and maybe like the color, because again, DNS is to me is black and green. So even if it's like the new look is good, but it's still like black and green. Maybe change the green to something else. I don't know. But other than that, that's really my only concern. It's not a huge thing. Good promo. Basically said, I've been gone. This is why I've been gone. I'm still that fucking guy, and I'll put this title up on anybody. Basically putting everybody on fucking notice, especially DNS. Really can't complain about it. So we'll do Junkie Jim and Jake. Jesus.
Jinx character arc's been interesting ever since he I forgot what it's like a few weeks ago where he called out. He's like how he's been essentially he feels he's been replaced and he's been disrespected even though he won the title. So it's interesting to see where it's going and how it's growing. I kind of agree with the voice. I don't get monotone. I get like a clown, but a clown who can like castrate you easily. Right? That's kind of what I see when I look at Jinx and I hear him speak. I don't know about this monotone stuff. I don't know. Obviously he'll experiment. That's just what the handler does. He's but yeah, I get more of like not necessarily like he needs to sound like Pennywise or anything like that, but just like a clown and like, you know, you can still be serious. But we were saying it in the Discord. They're like, an ending laugh or like a crazy laugh, a clown laugh at the end would have been perfect. But again, I'll always get the last laugh. That's a fucking bar. I'm sorry. If that's like his closing line, I'll take it.
What was the closing line?
He said something about like at the end of the day, I'll always get the last laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like that. That's a fucking bar. Like that's your punchline. Yeah. I know you're trying. That's all. And you'll figure it out. You always do. Interesting.
Criticism never assumes a lack of effort.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
He knows that.
And I like that. It's like okay, you know what? Like all the retro DNS members are like, okay, Bash want to fuck around and replace us? Let's go. You know what I mean? I like that. I like that. I hope Bolek has some sort of weird arc. Well, it's probably gonna happen, but I like the fact that all the old guys are like, oh, we're being replaced. And what the hell? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
That's a great arc.
I thought that's what our fucking dog was gonna do, but no, he's just a simp. So again, it's interesting. I like Jinx. I think Jinx, the sky's the limit, especially like once he gets all of his stuff down and he figures out like where he wants to go and the little niches of the character. I think the sky's the limit on him. Whether he's a face, whether he's a heel, I think he's got uber loads of potential as a singles competitor.
Yeah.
Even though he's already been super successful, I think he can take it even another notch.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much all. Like you know, it's funny because I remember we used to have another clown sideshow, another like serious dude, giant dude. He had the clown shoes, but everything else was basically just not like he was just a fucking beast. His thing was sideshow ain't no joke, and it just made me think about Jinx for a second, just like a leaner version of sideshow almost. He used to do the Key Crusher 99. He used to call it the Clown Crusher, and he had a fucking big boobs with the clown shoe. Anyway, I digress. Jim? Yes, Jim.
Yep. I have faith in Jinx. Obviously, him having been in DNS for a long time, and he definitely needs to kind of differentiate his look and go his own direction. But this is what it's all been about with all these guys. Wrapping that all in is just letting them kind of start to break out and do their own thing. And I kind of enclose Bash with different faces and tell new stories. So that's really what it comes down to. And where Jinx's arc goes as far as being the North American champion, what his fight with DNS and all of that, you'll have to watch it unfold at this point. But overall, it's always nice to see the character on there, the champion, even if he's not on the pay-per-view, he's there. So it says something about him as the handler.
I love seeing it. Jake.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here until 9:40, so we got to hurry up. But
I'm not trying to be in that, but we're halfway through, more than halfway.
The Jinx thing, yeah. Well, keep interrupting. The Jinx thing with the color, I don't think the color matters so much as the general presentation and the aesthetic. Which, if you look at Jinx right now coming down to the ramp versus the way he was presented before, is not the same. Like, I don't care that he still has the same color hair. Now it's tied back in a much different way. He's walking straight down to the ring with a purpose. He's not walking out with a hammer or like doing the suit thing. Like this, he's totally different in the way that he is behaving because he is breaking away from the DNS thing. So I just don't think because his green hair, which he had before DNS, by the way, that is a Jinx thing. That is not a DNS thing. He didn't change his hair to be DNS. He just happened to have the same color hair. So the colors, I think, are good enough to change now as long as he continues the substance, which is in this promo. I have the same criticism that everybody else does with the voice. It doesn't seem like it fits. It doesn't seem like a real person's voice. So that could be adjusted, whatever, that's fine. But the substance of this promo was there. It nailed it. That last line was a bar, and hopefully this will lead to big things for Jinx in the North American Championship going forward.
Moving right along, we have the Bell Ashley feud. Music, loved it.
Yes.
Added to my playlist, both of them. Nice work by Bell. Fucking told the story. Then we switch into the second song. Good match. It's just fucking Ashley had Bell's number, and Ashley does wonderful. I guess even if it's just taunting, Ashley does great as a asshole heel. So it was a great babyface versus dickhead heel. Proto Ashley, old school Ashley. I hope there's a little bit more. Bell needs to get that lick back. As you clearly tell during the commentary, I was very invested in Bell winning because fucking, it's an unsung hero of the women's division. Just, consummate babyface type shit. So that's my take on it. Like the match. Just wish Bell would have won, but the ending was still pretty cool. Ashley ate shit as a heel should do at the end of a match usually. We'll do Junkie, Jake, and then Jim.
This was good. I like Bell's over as fuck, ain't she?
To me at least. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but no, I think overall, I think everybody wants to see Bell succeed. Like regardless, I think everybody wants to see Bell at the top. The slap will forever pop.
Yeah.
I love it when he just yeah, Ashley just really good, man. Just it's unfortunate. It's how the dice rolled tonight. I don't think it doesn't. Clearly, it's not over. So we'll see. Hopefully, she gets her lick back and goes from there. But overall, presentation was good. I like the hype package as well too. I saved those to my playlist as well.
Yep.
But yeah, it's good. It's good for the arc, or if we want to see Ashley or Bell go to the top, this is how it's going to get done. So curious to see how it goes next.
Fucking great underdog, Jim. I'm sorry, Jake.
Long-term storytelling. If you want to see how it's done, this is how it's done. It doesn't even have to go all the way back to 2019 to their Ambition feud. Man, just so good. Bell gets it on a fundamental level, as does Ashley. The video really reflects that in total. The way that it told the entire story on the lead up to it pretty much summarized 18 months of storytelling in such a concise package, beautifully done with two different kinds of videos. Belle is over as fuck. She is probably the purest babyface in the company right now on either side, but especially the women's division. And yes, surely I hope that this is not over yet. Ashley's a tremendous heel. She's able to do it in the ring better than a lot of people are. And sometimes that's gotten to her into a little bit of trouble. So I don't think this is over. I sure hope it isn't. But either whether it is or not, both women are going to benefit from this. The Clash in general tonight was a tremendous showcase of non-title feuds that benefited everybody.
I like that, Jim.
I really like this feud, the way they did it, Ashley's heel turn. So leading up to this match, I expected Ashley to kind of come in and assert her dominance, which is exactly what she did. It was like a teacher-student thing. I taught you everything you know, and I have more tricks that you don't know, type thing. So I thought that told a really good story in the ring. Obviously, Ashley and Bullock, I think you said it on commentary, do the heel thing very well. That would be the shitbird team of the year for you, like you said.
Oh, that would be
During
such
comment.
a fucking tremendous asshole team.
Yes, it would be great. But she does it so well, and at the end, they definitely set the table for more, as Jake kind of alluded to, which I appreciate. I think that this feud definitely deserves more than just that one match, and how pivotal that Ashley's been to Belle's career in the time that she's been here. You know, the first time, break, and then even, now kind of this last run that she's been on. So I enjoyed everything about this. I hope to see Belle take a step up next time that they meet, and I'm ready to see more.
There was one point in the match where Belle was trying to like get back into position, and Ashley countered her. Belle did like something or other, and then Ashley just like swept her, and then fucking did like this weird roll up with the bridge or some shit. Like, oh my god, just asshole work all the way around. Fucking fantabulous work on the assholery to Ashley Moore. Fucking what a dick. Next
shout out to the only one who doesn't want to change her fucking theme. That is loyalty. 8 years of the same theme. Man, Ashley is iconic.
Fucking great theme. Should never. If they think she changes, it'll be a problem. So now we have the high package in the match for the national championship. I enjoyed this match very well because I'm biased. But no, the people involved all know how to do their. People involved all know how to do what they know how to do. So this one, the package itself told a good story about Cass being a asshole, as he's often known to do, with little clips here and there. Told a good story. Match itself, very fun. Everybody got their shit in at one point. Very emotional roller coaster ride. Didn't ask who won till I actually watched it. Finish was fantastic. Cass kicking out of the fucking Ortiz Express enraged me in no uncertain terms. Like it just that's one of the matches I wish Jake was there because his shouting one ticket to Riot, so I had to do it. But yeah, no, fucking. I guess Cass needs 2 tickets. Cass missing his fucking missing his first stupid kick, and then the second one getting countered was beautiful. Bolek trying to be a shitbag and run around the ring and then getting stopped and then tossed outside and then fucking putting a STF Nate was also a big. Like Bolek is really, really, really good at just playing a sniveling dipshit. It's unfortunate that he's really good at it because it makes anytime he does something like ugh, but then anytime he gets his comeuppance even that much better. Hopefully this ends Bolek failing up where he can go back down where he fucking belongs. Cass can go away and Nate can continue his I don't know, is it historic? I don't know, his just run of international championship, I guess. Fun match. This will probably be my second match that I put of the night of the 3 matches so far because it's I do believe it's Dragana and Junkie and then this match and then a third. We'll do Jim first, Junko, and then Jake last because Jake is verbose and that's to all people involved.
All right. So as far as the hype package goes, I thought it was a nice little fit, and everything kind of illustrated what those guys were about. Because a lot of their feud was over like text, in terms of they were written RPs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was a good way of doing that when you've written it for most of the feud. That was the first thing. The second thing is Bolek definitely plays a really good cheeky heel, like you said, in the match. Nate Ortiz was definitely the most prepared for that. He's been grinding this entire time, for the last little while now. Cass is always very good in the ring, but it just wasn't his night. Now, as far as Bolek, the match was good, but this guy keeps losing every time he gets in the ring now. What is he going to do with his character now? Is the question for me, right? What does the character do? And I don't even know at this point. Right, I haven't. He's got to figure it out because to be honest with you, the Xbox side of things, in terms of his potential avenues and opponents, a little slim. You know what I mean? Looking at the roster and stuff like that. So I want to see where he goes. Cass, we'll see him at some point. And Nate Ortiz has had the best international title run since Antonio Everett had the title.
Damn.
And yeah, so I want to see how he continues rolling, who his next opponent is as well, and if he can keep it going. And good job to everybody involved, and just good shit.
Before Junkie, I would say this, that like there was a point where he could have pinned both Cass, and he pinned Cass, but he didn't pin Nate. He probably should have pinned Nate. Maybe could have won. Would have been sudden. Would have been interesting. But again, when you're triple threat and people are down, just pin everybody. You never know. Junkie, you're up.
It was entertaining. It was a good triple. That's probably one of the most enjoyable ones I've seen so far. Like I just think overall these three have really good chemistry. I really enjoyed the Nate and Bullock match a few weeks ago as well too. It was just so funny seeing Bullock just scurry around and try to make it happen. It was so funny. It was so funny. Then at the end, he's like, and then the crowd, the voice chat, everybody's like, "Oh, watch out for the spear! Watch out for the spear!" And then he hits him. I was crying. I was crying. I'm like, "Oh, poor Bullock." But I disagree. I think this is a good way for Bullock to start that face turn that we've been bitching and moaning about. I think this is the way to go. I don't know how he's going to do it and who he's going to chase after. I would like there was a little bit of a segment with him and Quartz about a few weeks ago. That could be an avenue he could go down, but I think this is the way to go. If we want this Bullock first turn, I don't. But if everybody else wants to see it, this is the way to go. Nate is great. This is really, really what it is. Nate. As much as I keep thinking he's gonna lose, and he keeps winning. So you know what I mean. Cass is gold. As much as you hate him,
He's
just very charismatic, very annoying. I loved in the match. Like every time Bullock or Nate would do something, Cass is just there to just be like,
he's so fucking annoying, dude.
I don't know why I enjoy seeing the kick whiff. It's very funny to me.
It's a new thing.
I don't know what it is, but when he lands it, it's amazing. It's diabolical. But again, overall, really good program. I love the three individuals in this situation. Interesting. International title has been controversial in terms of like people not being able to hold it long and things of that nature. But I think Nate's shutting that shit down. So we'll see how it goes.
Jake.
Yeah, high package. Same thing I said before. I'm always a sucker for incorporating a lot of past history into things, and I think the build for this is exactly what it always should have been. In a sea of overtly personal feuds that are derived not just from a desire to move up the card or a desire to win a championship, but a desire to punish your opponent or really hurt the person across the ring. This was a perfect interception of that to be like, no, this is about the international title. This is about Nate Ortiz's legacy. He's talked about a lot of other people, cough, cough, in his promos on the lead up to this. But he does have a lot of history with Cassidy Hayes, and I'm so happy that Bullock was able to fit in here. I honestly, on the build up to this, thought it was just going to be a singles match, and they could have gotten away with just doing that as a spectacle, as a big, hey, look, it's Nate and Cass, and it would have been great. But the fact they worked Bullock back in this is perfect. Yes, Bullock is losing a bunch, but honestly, I'll tell you what, I think that's perfect for his babyface turn. I'm going to take it a step further from what Junko said. I don't think this is a great way to kickstart his babyface feud. I think he kickstarted it weeks ago, and he has been overtly committed to being a babyface. Jay, you mentioned he is such a good in-ring piece of shit. Like when you're playing a comp match, he is so good at like getting under your skin and being an asshole, which makes it even more impactful when he does things and subverts your expectations. Yeah, he has an opportunity to do this heel thing where he pins both people, Paul Pugh style, and he doesn't do that. He picks them up and he does. So I think he's made a real effort to do this. And honestly, him losing a bunch in the wake of the only reason he won as a heel was because he had DNS and because he was being a piece of shit. So naturally, when he goes on his own and tries to commit to himself being an honorable person, he's going to have to learn some things. He's going to have some losses in order to figure out what it's like to actually run on your own. And he, to his credit, he is committed to it. So I don't know what's next for Bullock, but I have been a big fan of everything he's done since distancing himself from DNS. Nate Ortiz is a perfect person to revive what we have right now with the international title. I say revive, but it didn't really need reviving. It's been cool in its own way throughout. But this John Cena-esque arc, as we keep calling it for Nate, is great. I'm glad he retained here, and he has kind of infinite options right now of where to go as we go into 2025.
You know what's fucking funny though? I could honestly see, I don't know if I don't think this might have been before your time, but like, you remember when there was a part when Ric Flair was in WWE and he was like, he was a face, but he was still doing Ric Flair things, and everyone just still loved it because it was, Eddie Guerrero. Like, they do shitty things, but people like them doing shitty things. I could see Bolek as a face just being a shit.
Later, though.
I agree. Later on.
He's got to earn that later.
Yeah.
Like, Ric Flair had earned that over 30 years. And I think that's kind of why we cheer for Cass now, right? If Cass were to, like, hit somebody in the dick or, like, do his runaway stuff, we wouldn't criticize him the same way we would somebody who's brand new, because he has cultivated that. He's built equity into that persona.
That's a good point.
So it's just fun to watch Cass at this point. We don't have to really dissect his character because we know who his character is because he's been true to it for his whole time.
Yeah, Cass being Cass, whether face or heel. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Good shit. Okay, we do have next. It looks like
OCW title.
Yes, we have the package. Wait, is this it? Yes, it is. All right, we have the package for the OCW title and the match itself. I will take it to who went first last time?
Jim.
I'll go first. Jake, Jim, Junko. How about that?
Sure.
The OCW title match was a very interesting build for this, especially because it went against the way that Parka usually runs into conflicts for the world title. This was Iceman trying to kind of build a gap of friendship in a lot of ways, and obviously I am closer to the situation given that I'm Dennis Dillinger, but I was also attacked in the parking lot 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what's going on since then. But yeah, this was a very different way to introduce this feud, and I think it's a feud a lot of people wanted to see, but it had to be executed in a way that made sense. And I think this did it, like Iceman being a ridiculous, over-the-top character in a way that he still commits to this day. He was not in it just for his own benefit or his own faction's benefit. He really did try to build that bridge, and now we have it here. This is another one I don't think is over right now. I think as a full package, this was probably the best match, I guess, of the night. There were better in-ring action. There were better like cinematic elements, but this kind of had that full package. You could tell Parka was shitting down his leg the whole match. You could tell Parka really underestimated what Iceman brought to the table. I was thrilled to see Iceman come out of the gate and really dominate Parka for the first half of the match. I think that did a lot in reestablishing him as a legitimate threat. It went the way that it did. I think Iceman could have made a few decisions here or there. Maybe his own interest in maintaining that bridge, that relationship with El Parka got in his own way. Speaking of relationships, goddamn, Marissa coming out completely ruining any good will that she built earlier on, winning the world title by costing the Iceman the world championship is dog shit. I don't know what Marissa still has against him. I don't know where that's going to lead to, but I don't think this is the end of the Iceman El Parka saga.
Just remember when I said
and I didn't mention.
Go ahead.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mention the I said it in the chat, but the differences in hype package we always put over. This is a great example here. The journalistic approach that Brian likes to use for a lot of his packages are super fresh compared to the rest of ours, mine included. So just being different is better. I know Jinx made the comment, how do I compete with that? You don't. You just be yourself. That's all that matters.
You do what works for you, Hoot, whether it be fucking the slideshow, stills, documentary, commentary, whatever the fuck. You do what works. Everybody has everyone has pulls as a different package. Everyone provided a different type of package. You just got to go with what works. Who's next?
Jimmy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was definitely a different way of doing it, and I appreciated it because it told the story that it needed to tell in the hype package to hype this. And this was definitely a different type of story, like Jake alluded to, or when he talked about this. Now, the thing for me about Iceman, I liked the friendly approach, but Iceman really showed out. When I went into this match, when Jay and I were gonna call it, I was like thinking like, I don't know what's gonna happen here, because sometimes Iceman gets in there and he gets mauled. Other times Iceman is in there kicking ass and taking names. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't know what you're gonna get. And he really did come in and give El Parka a good run, which was refreshing to see. So great job on him. obviously he didn't win the match in the end, and it told a really good story. El Parka is on a run that is been pretty dominant so far this year, and he doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. So I look forward to that. As far as the Nate Mack character, it was a good opportunity. I think I look at him in a better light after this feud. Not that I looked at him a bad one before, but overall, I expect him to, he's got to find his next thing and his next thing to do, if you know what I mean. Like the Marissa stuff should be over. I'm not sure why she came out. That was very confusing for me. What she's trying to do, because earlier in the night we got bashed like ready to beat her up, and she's being the damsel in distress, and then later in the night she's screwing over her ex-husband. So that we got to figure that part of it out. But Riot's really good. He'll make it work. In terms of why he did what he did. So I have faith in him.
Junkie.
This was fun. I enjoyed it from the top to beginning. Again, I had a feeling. I didn't know that he was going to be the next challenger, but I also said I wanted to see Nate in a title package, and I think it was really good. I want to give him a bit more flowers when it comes to like his character work building up to this match. I liked the little subtle thing of like he kind of suppressed Iceman kind of to be like this like normal person who was just trying to befriend Parka. If you notice in a lot of the segments that they produced, he's talking, and like during the interactions with Parka, Iceman would try to come outside of Nate, but Nate would just suppress him. Little things like that I noticed. But I found that stuff to be super entertaining. The match itself too. Nate's a baller, man. Nate's one of those ones on the sticks. He can beat anyone. And I thought he was gonna get it done after he hit the icebreaker, and then he went to the top rope and hit the Macho Man elbow. I was like, oh shit, is he gonna get it done? And then his fucking American geisha wife comes out of nowhere, ex-wife comes out of nowhere and screws it. So I had a feeling they weren't finished. I just didn't think it was gonna be this specific match. But I guess it makes sense. Your biggest night, I'm gonna ruin it. So we'll see what happens now. I hope Coco's paying attention. But yeah, can't complain. A really solid work by Iceman. Parka again, and I think Parka is the MVP of this season, bar none. I don't think anyone comes close outside of maybe Daddy. But hey, man, this is how it is. I would love to see a run back of this though. That's probably the biggest thing that I want. Would love to see a run back and see what happens, how farther it goes, and how Marissa plays a part in it.
All hoes banned from ringside.
Anytime someone wants to fucking be like, oh, sensation, fuck you. Look what she did. That's what I'm saying. So it's
you're right. She's not a good person.
It's always going to be on site on commentary. So if that's the case, then you better hope Marissa doesn't wrestle only once a month, because she's getting fucking the full clip every time. Until there's some kind of change in behavior, which there'll never be, because you can't. She's for the streets. Fuck out my face. Entertaining match. I'm not sure why the fuck he went for the elbow, but it was a fun match, and then it cost him, and then Thottery Barn came and fucked it up for him even more. So it is what it is. Okay, what we got left? Ooh, I do believe we have
Flojo.
Yes, and everyone popping shit until Flojo started speaking. Ugh. That shit kind of grates my cheese, honestly. Sometimes, like, just shut the fuck up. Just let a motherfucker talk.
Jay,
what?
Jay, you make a good point, but I'll also ask that you kind of look inside yourself, because I think we're all guilty of that same thing. Really prescribing what we think we're going to see. Really criticizing things that have nothing to do with what you're seeing on screen. You do it. I do it. We all do it. So, like, it grates your cheese. Just remember this feeling next time you catch yourself doing it.
I rarely do it, but I digress. Like, for example, when I was watching the video, prior to see where the fuck it goes, I was like, oh, okay, Flo just coming out. Interesting. Let's see what happens. And then I actually started hearing the voice, like, oh shit. And the promo was nice. The promo was, there was it 7 months, 7 years, 15 months,
7
15
years,
days.
4 months.
4 months. Yeah. See, look, I'm dyslexic. Fuck you. Yeah, interesting promo. I didn't know where it was going until the music hit, and then I actually saw the music, like, oh shit, and I got excited. So I like the devil's advocate kind of thing that's happening. The Beatrix looks like basically if you, like I said it before, if you digivolve Pearl, like, Pearl, like whatever, and then digivolve to Beatrix and shit, the higher level 2 Pearl. But yeah, no, I'm interested to see where this goes, because it's basically like you get cold cocked. Flojo goes back to Proto Flojo with "fuck you, I don't know who you are." So I guess Flojo may not be leaving after this, and the rookie's like, I wanted that. So it's interesting little thread. So I'm intrigued. There was also a text promo on the show where we had the tag match that I'm 100% sure most people missed. I know Jake and Jay and Jim didn't, which kind of really, like, I was like, oh, I was very surprised about this promo. I was like, did fucking Flojo actually write this? Yes, they did. Fucking just they cut the bullshit, and I was like, oh. So I was like, I was interested to see where it took us, and it took us a week to get to the 2 weeks, whatever, to get to the next show, this show, and then it gave us a follow up. So I'm interested to see what happens with this, and I'm very excited. So we will do Jim Junkie Jake.
I enjoyed the Flojo promo. It's good to see her. She's a good character. She always has a nice look. And Beatrix, like I said, in the initial stuff, kind of gave me witchy vibes. Definitely interested to see what is going to go on there with her between those two. Kind of get to know the Beatrix character a little bit more as well. So this kind of just sets the stage for some stuff that's going to happen. There's nothing major, but it's good to see Flojo and nice to see a new character on the pay-per-view.
Fucking Junkie.
This is good. This is a pleasant surprise. I did not expect this. It's good to get some character work from Flojo. I've been crying, and I've been harassing Goose for a few months. So I'm glad this is where it's going. I just harass everybody. This is what I do. So yeah, it's good. I didn't expect Beatrix either too. I think this will be great because she'll be the catalyst, and it's interesting. I like the whole like veteran thing where like she's like the 7 years thing is cool. I think that's really cool to me. And it's her. I guess it seems like she's just frustrated in the fact that like we're forgetting who you are. It seems like y'all forgot who I am, and I'm going to show you. So it's interesting. I liked when she bitch slapped the girl. It was funny. It seems like Beatrice is a bit of a masochist. So we'll see how it goes. I'm super excited.
I want to make the Beatrix laughter command. I fucking love it. Fucking that stupid laugh, but no, it's fucking. I'm interested. Jake, you're up.
Yeah, once my voice heals, I'll get that to you right away. Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal too much. I mean, shit, Flojo, everything she said in her promo. Why don't you just go back and watch it one more time? She is spitting fucking bars. This is Flojo, the one that has not been paid attention to, and now Beatrix is here to tell you why you shouldn't pay attention to her, I guess. I'll be making my debut, or Beatrix will be making the debut next week on Friday. So we'll see if anything comes of that.
Oh, that's you? Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck me. Well, fuck me sideways. That's a surprise. Okay. Well, moving on. Fucking da da da. Oh, this introduction. Now we have the main event, CCW. Apparently, I'm not in the know that this song is super popular. I was like, oh, it's a nice song, and that was it. Everyone's like, oh, this song. I'm like, I never heard it before. So, Jake mentioned the thread of Invictus, which was the catalyst for Jordan Trance. So it's a nice little historical lesson for those people who do the histories or whatever. These were, if you didn't know, these were the catalysts for once we got rid of stupidity back in the beginning of 2018. These guys stepped up and basically fucking hard carried Turmoil. It was B17, Rex, Austin, aka Austin Lee, and then Jacob Trance. They just fucking hard carried. Yeah.
Don't make drama where it doesn't need to be.
I didn't make any drama. It was Rex also, right? Did I say Rex?
You said Rex, yeah.
Okay.
Rex, Austin, and you see them all here in the video too. That was what I loved, was the representation of all of it. Because me again, I love the history and I love that shit. So like seeing the history of Rex, seeing the history of Austin Lee, the history of B17, Jacob Trance, and Aries, who were like, that's the five. That it was awesome to see because they've made this whole build about that.
And the story that it told, match itself, entertaining. Jordan Trance had it for a moment, and then he summarily lost it. And where we are, this will probably be my third first. So is those three that I enjoyed greatly. This one definitely, and then the end did not expect that shit at all. Honestly, honestly at one point I was like, it's not Cody Hagen, right? Because that stupid mask that Cody Hagen always wears. So I thought, but I didn't
Oh,
shout it.
okay.
I didn't shout.
Mhm.
I shot it in VP, but in thing I didn't shout it in introduction. What's it called? Not introductions. God damn it.
Commentary.
Fucking yeah. So I thought about, I was like, nah, that's not. That would have been a stupid call. But yeah, no, I didn't see that coming. Especially the fact that that's not really Innis. That's more a G2. So this will be interesting to see what the fuck that's about. And then the whole, I kind of think because of the whole like super, because Innis came back cunty to begin with. Like, and this has been cunty since they came back, and they were like, oh, grouchy. So that might be something. But I'm curious to see where the fuck that goes. Very interesting to see. Didn't expect that on my bingo card. No pun intended. For B17, but no, commanding win at the end too. Hit two of them for fucking extra stank on it. It would have been hilarious if Jordan Trance kicked out, but the homage to Jacob Trance was also really nice. Just a fucking overall like fundamentally dope shit. So we'll do be Adam's not here to talk about it, so we'll do I guess. Wait, Jake, you went already, right? Am I bugging?
I talked about the hype package.
Oh, okay, my bad. So we'll do Jim, Jake, and then Junko. My bad. Everything's blurring together.
The hype package was fun with all the lore and stuff. I've gone back and watched some of that Invictus stuff, so I see where they were pulling that stuff from. And this whole feud has really been about their relationship in terms of their personal relationship. So the title feud has been extremely personal between them because of their former dynamic, being father and stepson, stepfather, stepson, whatever. So they really played on that. I enjoyed that part of it. Look, Trance gave him a good fight. In the end, B17 did the thing he always does, and he won. In terms of when it comes to the CCW title, a guy has arguably the two greatest runs in CCW title history, or two of the three, and you have to call him what it is, in terms of that title and what he's meant to it. And I'm going to throw up real quick because I said all of that. Now, look, Jamie did a good job. I thought he was he gave him a good match, and their build worked. It was a long time coming with all the contract stuff and all of that. And overall, with Quartz coming out, that I didn't expect. After the Spider thing, I thought Quartz was kind of just doing his, like, oh, I'll get into little things here and there. I don't know what Jake's thinking at this point, or what he's trying to do here. So it'd be interesting to hop in his mind and see why he's doing this and that type of thing. But I'm here for it. I'd love to see the two of them go at it. It for sure would be great cinema. They've both been great champions and held that belt. So I'm here for it.
For the next person, I just wanted to say that fucking Jim like leveling up for this match also was hilarious. So shout out to you for that. I did. I told you were going. I was like, fucking go for it, and then that's what happened. So we need more of that. Just gotta normalize your microphone. I guess I do in post, and we'll be all right. Whoever's
All
next,
right.
please go. I don't remember who the fuck it was. Was it Junkie?
I think it was Jake.
Okay, Jake, you're up.
Yeah, the match played out a lot like I thought it would. B17 did give a couple scares. I actually did like how the challenger was threatening him in the early going. A lot of these matches, and we talked a little bit about it, about Iceman and El Parca, where you have on paper what you think is going to be a one-sided affair. It's always super, super strong for the underdog to come out and really whoop ass, especially if they're heels like they are in Jordan Trance's instance. So the way he came out strong, it really just immediately established as there's a real chance tonight that we leave with Jordan Trance as our world champion, which only made it better where B17 pops right back into action. He is as renowned a champion as he is for a reason. The 1-2, like the one big 50 cal and then the backup, that was a terrific job to nail the point home. I love the whole build up to this, and just like the OCW World Title match, the unique way in which they presented it. So I was happy to see it, and I was happy to see that it wasn't fucked with too. Just as an aside, like I thought initially that this would be, oh no, it was the contract situation, but Bash is going to find his way back in this, or there will be a third party, or there will be something. But I'm glad we got Trance B17 in this iteration. It'll play back into the lore. We'll talk about it in a couple of years, and it'll be a fun story. So yeah, congrats to B17. I'm not sure really what happened after that, other than anything he has been asking for his entire reign, and everything he deserved. I didn't fight for an entire year to keep Cassidy Hayes and Castianity away from the CCW title just for him to take a giant shit all over that and just let whoever he wanted to challenge for it. I didn't spend all of this time doing what I have done in sacrifice of my own social life, just so he could walk in and pretend that he is something that he's not. He's really emblematic of a greater problem, which we're going to have to get into in the long term.
God.
But B17 is kind of just a monument to the dipshittery that's been going on the last year and a half that I'm really sick of seeing.
Adam,
he's not anything.
He
more
is
than
not
that.
prepared for this level of fucking
Wow.
chicane. He is not prepared. I've dealt with this level of chicanery multiple times here throughout the years. He is not ready for this level of chicanery. There's gonna be a few "Are we good?" fucking private messages. No, we're not. Back to the action. Fucking.
Oh my god!
I had a thought and I can't.
You're not good.
I had a thought and I can't get it out now. I fucking lost it because of dementia. You're up, Junkie.
Yeah, it was good. The again jacket popped me. I'm just watching it now. That was fucking beautiful. I didn't expect Jamie to get run over. That's just not possible. I've seen far too many Jamie matches. I faced him. It just was not gonna happen. But again, big match bingo. Was not shocked by the outcome. But again, it was a good match. It was a good match. I enjoyed the little pops to the past and of the Invictus. I've actually just finished my Invictus chapter a few weeks ago, so that was pretty good. This last part, the ending, I didn't expect. I thought Quartz was gonna come back and be a babyface, but like I guess Jake said, "Fuck off."
I mean, he kills
I am a babyface. I don't know what you're talking
There
about.
we go.
So it happened last week and it's super cool, but it happens to an even more justified piece of shit tonight, and it's cool. I don't really understand.
Oh, so you generally think that like you're doing God's good work right now?
I did it. Yes, I killed one leech on the company, and now I tried to kill another. I don't know what we're doing here.
I told you.
But yeah, it's gonna again. I'm still trying to figure out this character that is Quartz. From like a character.
There's a fucking deep well for you. Good luck.
Yeah, he's my doppelganger. So because I'm pretty interesting when it comes to my personality, he's probably like 5 times worse.
Yeah.
So this will probably be an interesting road that we go down to in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, good stuff. Good overall. I think this is a good test for B as well too.
I'll leave it to you like this, Junkie. He left breadcrumbs for over probably 5 years on how him and H2 are related. When the big reveal came, and most people, I'm going to say myself included, were like, wait, what? The level of curiosity in his soul, justifiably too. He is mastermind is all I got to say. And there's a lot.
It's okay. It's okay.
There needs to be
people not paying attention is really a part of the problem that we're talking about. It's been from day one.
Okay.
And I'm getting my shit cut. We got late in the show, and I didn't think my stuff was going to air at all, Jay. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's doing it. I can't. I'm not putting up with this right now. This is Adam's problem, not mine. What I do have to mention is actually I remember it now. I guess now as of today he broke his record apparently, allegedly. Adam, you can confirm if you did or didn't. I don't know because I'm using the OCW time, not fucking whatever that makes Jamie the fucking 700 day champion shit. I'm talking about the one we do. So you figure it out. I think you broke a record today. I'm not sure. You can go double check your shit. Well, check whatever. Anyway, don't care. So yeah. That being said, I guess we can wrap it up. We did good time. See, it's not 9 o'clock. We have more time that we saved. It's only an hour and 30. So I'll leave it like this. Match
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Match of the. That's why I didn't invite you. I'm glad you're here though, but I didn't want to bother you because you were sick.
Yeah, I apologize for inviting myself.
No, it's always you're always welcome. Even when you fucking become a prickly and abrasive and you hurt my feelings, it's fine. Because I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry. I apologize. We have. So
you got me. Move to your next agenda item, you prick.
No, we're about this. So I want to say, what's people's match of the night? Jim, what's your match of the night?
Transby 17.
Okay, Junkie, what's your match of the night?
CCW or Pride.
Well, you can't pick your own.
Self vote.
Fucking
What-
Mark.
Self vote
Says
is
who?
crazy.
Says who?
That is
Says who?
no. I guess you're not invited to the next podcast. Fucking.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Fuck out of here.
That's
Going
bullshit.
for it.
Yeah, what the
That's
fuck
bullshit.
do you think this is?
Rule number
That's
one,
bullshit.
Junko, you don't pick.
That's bullshit.
How fucking
That's bullshit.
How fucking dare you, bro?
I said
was gonna
CCW
vote for
first.
it, but I'm not doing it now.
I said CCW first.
Yeah, but you said
Can I pick 3?
No,
it's
no,
fine.
you know, you.
That's so
That's
funny.
this is bullshit.
It's not
Where's
bullshit.
Rico?
She says CCW or
Mine.
Make it about me.
Make it about
Move
me.
over. Old
I can't summon my inner Trey Golden. Like, leave me alone.
Oh, Jesus.
You're going to kill Jake. Jake, what's your match tonight?
Jake, please.
Jake, please.
Pride title. It was a pride title. No, I would say mine has to be Sheldon and John as
Okay.
the best match. Like I said, the whole package OCW title, or pride title.
Mine is I have the 3. I have the Pride, CCW, and International. My bias pick would be International because it was good and Nate. But I'll go with CCW. That's why it was also the main event as well. So I was like, it's pretty good pretty good. I think enough.
I said
Yeah,
to you,
go ahead.
I said to you right after we called out, I was like, that's the main event. And you're like, yeah, it is. I was like,
Yeah, I was having an issue because initially I wanted the women's to be the main event, but like I said, the miscommunication and then the way they like it could have done still, but then we called it also as the opener. So I figured like it would have made the most sense to just have M come out street clothes, like fuck you, this isn't happening, as opposed to at the very end of the show to come out street clothes, because then you're like, oh, it's definitely happening, versus in the beginning where there's some potential doubt. But
That's a great point.
Yeah, so
you
that
nailed it. You
no,
don't
but
get
that's
credit
why I
for
didn't
your
expect
card
the
order.
fucking thank you. That's why I didn't expect the hype package. It worked out in the end, but I was like, fuck. Just because like if the show starts, she just walks out, it's like, wait, what? Versus
No,
like if
putting
you
the
see,
first was a genius.
no, I know, but
choice.
if you see, I'm saying if you see a hype package, and then she comes out, it doesn't feel it as because like, well, is she or is because on one
Sure, but that early in the show, we were all confused. We didn't know what was going on.
yeah, people were like, yeah,
Perfect to have there.
yeah. And then people, when she started talking, people were like, oh, this is fucking bullshit. Part of me kind of wanted to like lean into the bullshittery and then do it like very like milk it a little bit longer, but I'm not re-editing shit. And I don't care.
Yeah. If you didn't have so much on your plate, like what I would have immediately thought to do is have Imp come out and do we're not having this match, and then the lawyer comes out and says, all right, and now you're and then it just cuts to the hype package, like midway, and it just plays the whole thing, and then Marissa comes out, like really milk up to the cartoon bullshit.
Oh my god. That would have been fucking great. So
No, but you killed it. Good job.
yeah, no. So overall, pretty good show. I guess the controversial question that we can fuck off, like this or Ambition 100. That was a debate, man. John was saying,
That's tough.
yeah.
Do
John,
we have to debate? Why do we have to
No, we
pick?
don't have to debate.
They're
Like,
different.
do we have to pick? Can we
Look,
just enjoy
I
each?
think-
Okay,
different,
we can
right?
do that. It's fine. Yeah, I'm just
I
saying for
think-
controversy. Who?
Let me look at the two.
Well, you look at it. I think that both events stood up on their own, and in the respective like surprise returns and stuff like that. I think Ambition 100 was more for shock factor in that respect. Like, oh, this person's here, that person's here. Whereas Clash was more about culmination of feuds,
Yeah.
right? So I think they served different purposes in that respect. So I think both events stand up on their own, and to compare them is comparing apples to oranges.
I was
It's-
just trying to be John. Go ahead, Jack.
But they're both fruits, and I think of the two fruits, I would rather bite into the Clash if I'm just like looking for a serious show to watch. Jim is absolutely right. I think he said it better than I ever could. But like, they're so different. But when I watch Ambition, I'm ready to kick my feet back and like laugh and like be entertained and do some lower stakes fun. which is what we got, like with Dimsmore and Dupree and Mugen and all that. This was higher stakes. It was more serious. It had more of an emotional oomph to it. Whereas Ambition was like, let's have some fucking fun, man. You know what I mean? So if I had to pick between the two as a wrestling show, I would say The Clash. And honestly, I did not have high hopes for this show coming in. I thought the fatigue from Ambition 100 with all of the non-title matches and other problems that we had, they blew me away. It was crazy. Like Devin C-Note, Sheldon, John Carter, even the Apocalypse match for its flaws, Bell and Ashley Moore, held up everything perfectly, really lay into those stakes and made it seem as serious as it should have felt. So I would pick The Clash.
Delicious steaks. Junko, you want to chime in or just abstain? Because this motherfucker called me offensive. Fuck you, Max. You know, habitual fence sitter.
I think it's tough because again, like they both said, they have different themes, right? Ambition 100 was more of like I said last week in the pod, it was more of like a combination of past, present, and future. And I think that was really good, and it was translated really well in the show. This has a lot of more story towards it, and there's a lot of important things that are going to really close the season out. So I kind of want to steer to Clash per se, just especially how the fucking show ended. Especially how the show ended. Especially with the last two matches with Marissa and Iceman and Parka, and now B17 and Quartz. Okay. So I kind of want to steer this way to the right.
So basically, what you're saying is that Tony Khan should watch both shows that are back to back within a week of each other and take notes. I get that. Appreciate you, Junkie.
100%.
Appreciate you, Junkie. Okay. If we're gonna let's end it up, I guess, rating the show out of. We want to do 5 stars or out of 10.
10. Who does 10?
No.
Yeah, we can do 5 stars.
All right, 5 stars. Do 5 stars. Jake, out of 5.
4.
Okay. Jim, out of 5.
4.
Junkie, out of 5.
I give it a 4.
Okay, because all you fuckers did 4, I'm gonna give it 3.95.
That is so granular. You could have just been a normal person and said 3.5.
Nah, it's not 3.5. It's not.
I even thought I was like, he's gonna do 3.75.
Nah,
and then the 3.95.
I don't know.
What kind of mathematician am I dealing with?
I'm not
here?
a mathematician. I'm a promoter, bro.
Yeah, what a callback.
Okay, well, think about it. What is there a 5 this season?
Show? No.
Lucian.
There's no 5?
Was Lucian a 5?
What's the highest ranked show?
I'm telling you right now.
Everybody gives B's, whatever a B is, which is 4.
If you go back and look at the Lucian pod, I'm probably giving it a 5, like a 4.95 right? in your terms, Jay.
Oh, yeah, 4.97.
If Lucian is 5, right? How close is Clash to Lucian?
That's
Lucian? How you rate it.
It's about 80%. So
80%, right? Yes, right. So for me, I think for me personally, Hard Target is closer to Lucian than
this was.
Clash.
Hard Target was a better show than this.
Yeah, exactly.
So Hard Target would be like a 4.5.
Yeah, Hard Target's a 4.5. Yeah, this is a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, our Summerside, we need to blow the doors off with a new schedule next year for Summerside, because the last one, I'm not going to say the last two because my brain doesn't go back that far, but the last one should have been held in higher regard than it was.
You mean the last what?
Summerside. Summerside.
Oh, yeah. You kind of, yeah. I feel that,
because we're talking about all these other shows, and Summerside gets lost in the shuffle because it wasn't like Hard Target was the culmination to what Summerside should have been. But I think once this new schedule kicks in, that's when it's going to be our time to make Summerside great again.
Oh God, yeah, we can end on that note. Jesus,
please,
Christ.
I have to go make food.
Yeah, go make food. So that was the post show podcast. We're at 143. Pretty good time.
One love. Protect trans kids.
Yep, there you go. So we'll see you next. We'll see you next time for. We'll see you on Friday for OCW Turmoil 328. And once again, making it about me. It's fucking tiring, but we'll be here. So we'll see you next. We'll see you on Friday. That's Jake Allen. That's Junkie. That's Jim, and I'm JCS. And we'll see you on Friday, 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. God bless, and have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Bye. Fighting Spiritu.
And don't forget to vote for the prize title. Okay, bye.